Okay, well, let's take care of the dog.
So, for beginner piano students, if their song's like 30 seconds long, can we give them 2 songs to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the parents paying $80, they want to see their kid on stage for at least 3 minutes.
Okay.
Hi, viewer. Do you want to be on the podcast?
Hey,
No, I have to teach.
Come on.
hello, viewer is generous. Hello, future people who might watch this after we boost it.
We're gonna boost it, and then we've got a couple hundred views now.
All right,
We're getting there.
nice.
I'm even somewhat sure that this is live.
See, you got a lot of Insane Clown Posse pictures on there from previous.
But I got one of
podcasts.
these. Check this out.
Hey,
What's that?
that is a prism refracting white light along the electromagnetic spectrum.
That's a lot of words.
Science.
Today we want to talk about music. I think last time we did some good stuff, and I thought you can open with what you're doing here at the studio. Whoops, with what you're doing here at the studio.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool project. It happens to be something personal for you, but
Yes.
it's doing some good. So you want to talk about it?
Sure. Should we introduce ourselves first?
Oh yeah. See, if I do this, then it looks like you're a Daniel Powers Jr. But I am. And if I do this,
So, oh my God, if it still says fish enthusiast.
no, part of
That's right.
yeah, Kevin
Juggalo for life.
part of the Insane Clown Posse.
Yes.
So, hi Kevin.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure. Well, you work here, so.
Can't get away from me. So yeah, I'm a teacher here. I'm also a student at William Patterson University, right over in Wayne.
Nice school.
It's a great school, great staff, great student body there, great facilities. Shout out to Willie P. Shout out to Dr. Falk.
What we do this? Is that what it is? Like Willie
This is the new thing.
P.
Oh, I like that.
Willie P.
Can't.
William Patterson.
Yep. William Patterson University.
Okay, go ahead. Please, this is very interesting.
So I am technically a senior, and so part of my course load as a senior at William Patterson is one of the course requirements is it's called a BA Capstone, a Bachelor of Arts Capstone project, which essentially in a nutshell it's a semester-long project that is in the field of music, and the project can really, pending advisor approval, which it was approved, anything that I want musically. So, like, I could have released an album, I could have put on a benefit concert, I could write a report. It could be like a written thesis. It could be any number of things. Like it's a wide-ranging possibilities.
All right.
What I have decided to do for my BA Capstone project is use my resources here at Real Brave. We have a talented group of kids. The students in the ambassador program, the Real Brave ambassador program, which we can talk about a little bit more in depth. But it's essentially a band, teenagers, and I'm guiding them through learning, rehearsing, and performing the entirety of Pink Floyd's 1973 album, The Dark Side of the Moon.
Which is this album right here.
That's the graphic on the album.
Very cool.
It's really fun. It's been a lot of fun so far. It's really exciting. It's challenging for sure. I mean, that album was and still is it's so many things, work of art. You could describe it as a production feat, a behemoth of 20th century music.
Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about it. I pulled up some facts. Personally, it's probably, what got me into music, thanks Don Albert, is Pink Floyd. He like gave me, Don Albert works for Real Brave, and he happens to be someone who was really influential for me. But he gave me not Dark Side of the Moon, but Wish You Were Here. He said, "Listen to this on tape, on tape,
Tape cassette.
tape cassette." He said, "Listen to this." So I put it. That's a different story. So what Dark Side of the Moon was to say. He's like, then I listened to that, and then he said, "Listen to this," and that was a whole another. Like,
Do you remember the first time you listened to Dark Side of the Moon?
no, I remember the first time I listened to Wish You Were Here because I remember sitting in the corner, really afraid,
Oh yeah.
because it starts off with the synth.
Right.
Now, Dark Side was the second. Like it was later when I was like used to the sonic.
Is Echoes on Wish You Were Here?
No.
That's Echoes. That's its own album.
It is its own album. So there's some really interesting articles about Dark Side of the Moon, and I figured it would be cool to talk about it.
Sure.
And things I actually didn't know. Paul McCartney was supposed to be on Dark Side of the Moon.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
It was recorded at Abbey Road Studios.
Right. They scrapped the cameo, but let's see if I can find it here. His contributions to the album were deleted, but the Beatles did make a surprise appearance on the record. So you know when I was joking before when we were talking about doing this?
Yeah.
I gotta find this. I'm doing this all live. So
That's kind of. I was surprised to learn when I don't know how many years ago it was that on "While My Guitar Gently Weeps," Eric Clapton cameo on the lead guitar for "While My Guitar Gently Weeps."
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, and it blew my mind. And then I listened to it again. I was like, "Yep, that's
it
Clapton."
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because that's definitely not Harrison. So for this, 'cause I love the Beatles. The end, what we were talking about, there is no Dark Side of the Moon, really. Matter of fact, it's all dark. Right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he says the only thing that makes it look light is the sun.
I never caught that.
I never caught that either.
I know that is an 18-minute long interview that was chopped up.
Right. And he's the Abbey Road doorman. His name is Jerry O'Driscoll.
O'Driscoll, yeah. Yeah,
And he delivered those lines. Yeah. And in the background, if you really listen, supposedly, because we can't play it, there is an orchestral version of the Beatles' Ticket to Ride.
Because it's playing on the speakers in the studio as that interview is going on.
Yeah.
I remember reading about that.
Okay. So that's cool. I did not know that. If you listen close to the end of Eclipse, the album's closing track, there's an orchestral version of the Beatles' Ticket to Ride, and then you're hearing the immortal, there is no Dark Side of the Moon. Matter of fact, really. I mean, yeah, as a matter of fact, it's all dark. That's at the end. So now we're going to work our way backwards.
Speaking of starting at the end and working their way backwards, the first track on the album, Speak to Me, less of a song, more of like a sound collage, takes bits and pieces that are in every song on the album.
Really?
Yeah, so they did that first track last. They mastered the first track last. And if you listen to it, you can hear the money sounds in Money. You can hear...
Oh, right. You can hear all the bits and pieces. That's right. That makes sense, actually, but I never thought of it that way.
And there's like screaming that goes right into Breathe.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it
Great
goes
Gig
back
in the Sky. That's an isolated vocal track from Great Gig in the Sky. That lady, it sounds... isolated, it sounds like screaming. I mean, she essentially is by the apex of that song. A what? Quarter? Yeah, absolutely. Take it.
Most of the album was recorded live. And do you know who the producer was?
Was it Alan Parsons?
Yes.
Yes.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
Of the Alan Parsons project.
Yeah.
It was nearly called Eclipse.
Yeah.
You knew that? I didn't know that either.
I actually didn't know that, but I can see that.
Well, there was this band Medicine Head that apparently put an album out at the same time called Dark Side of the Moon.
Is that right?
And then that album flopped, and then they're supposed to put it out as that.
That's like when Avatar: The Last Airbender came out at the same time as Christopher Nolan's Avatar with the blue people on whatever planet that is, and everybody forgot about The Last Airbender.
And I did not care for that.
That's a reference my millennial brethren will enjoy. You're welcome.
Okay. There's some stuff here nobody cares about. All right. So what's before I get to this next thing? What's your favorite tune on the album?
Probably, I want to say Time. Although the jam band fan in me really likes Any Color You Like, which is essentially just D minor G over and over again, which is pretty standard, like funk jam groove. If may I?
You may.
The thing. So it's like these are the chords: D minor 7 to a G7. The whole song, maybe 4 minutes of. Which, if you're keeping score, a minor 1 going into a major 4 lends itself to the Dorian mode.
I don't think anybody cares.
This is the stuff that really interests me.
This is where we differ, because I will go more towards the heart than the... I mean, I understand what you're doing, but, like,
so
I don't really care.
What I like about the Dorian mode is that it's like a happy minor mode, which minor just typically is just sad, right? And if I were to play the D natural minor scale... It's the minor 6. But it's got that major 6. Which gives itself, in the scale, a tritone.
Oh, look at that.
Which is adds a bit of cognitive dissonance as the listener is hearing that, and I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable in all the best ways. The synth sounds, the was it EMI synthex, the delay, all of that, all the stuff on that track. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's the one we're working on tomorrow at our rehearsal. Although there's something I love about each of the tracks. For example, on the Run, did you know that is just a bass line? It's a synth bass line sped up 16 times.
No.
It was and what that ended up is like a 16th note triplets.
And what about the laughing?
The laughing, that's all. I think that's more interviews throughout Abbey Road Studio, and sound effects of somebody running down the hall, airplanes, drums, bombs dropping.
Yes.
All of which I'm still in the process of.
How are you going to put that all together? Well, let's get to that in a second, because I do want to get to that. But the other interesting facts about Dark Side of the Moon, which happens to be, was it 900-something weeks I was on number 1?
I read somewhere 1,400.
1,400 weeks?
No. Number 1, no. 1,400 on the top 200.
Top 200, okay.
Yeah.
It was like hundreds.
It was like
I think it's in here somewhere. The original cover was supposed to be an image of the Silver Surfer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's odd.
That's like a Marvel character.
Yeah.
Or was considered for the album's cover, I'm sorry,
Okay.
according to this source.
Sure.
Yeah. It was the first Pink Floyd album to break into the top 40.
Okay. Yeah. Prior to that were...
Prior to this, well, I'm blanking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not... my Pink Floyd discography is lacking. I know about Wish You Were Here, Echoes, Animals, The Wall. Obviously, was The Wall before or after? It was after.
After.
Yeah.
Proceeds from the album helped fund Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
I get that. I understand that.
It was they were running out of money, or they were having money problems, and with the album's success, because they made a ton. Back then, you could actually make money doing this. They funded it, basically. That's what I'm reading here. Oh, they were more than happy to pony up 10% of the film's £200 budget.
Wow.
200,000 pound budget, sorry.
Wow. It's 10 tons.
That's a lot of tons. So my song, I guess, to end this is Us and Them.
Us.
Just haunting.
Us.
Yeah. Haunting.
And them.
And the chorus. Well, I don't know if that's not the chorus. It's more like a middle part, like a middle 8. Yeah. Are you doing that?
Yeah. I'm doing the whole thing.
Doing the whole thing. And who's singing all this?
Amanda is singing most of it. I know Emma's on background vocals. These are two of my students. Amanda's doing Great Gig in the Sky with who is that? Tony. No, I forget her name. Now. Us and them, I really like that chord progression. It's,
well, I've never played this.
Then it goes to a augmented triad here. Nope, not there though. Then to a G.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which for rock and roll to have this chord in there as like a standalone chord and not just as like a passing chord was like groundbreaking because people were like, "What the heck?"
And it's over just the one root, right? Boom,
yeah, D.
Boom.
And then,
yeah, so that's Forward He Cried from the Rear. Roger Waters, lead singer, this is the first time he wrote, if not all the lyrics, most.
Really?
And it was the first time he was able to do that because it was Syd Barrett before that pushed that forward.
Right.
And Gilmour wanted to have control of the music, but I think this is where they started banging heads.
Yeah. Ironically, the most commercially successful and culturally successful album.
The theme of the whole album, there was an actual theme, so it was
a lot of it was a nod to Syd Barrett.
Yeah, but it was more like Syd Barrett was "Wish You Were Here."
That was written
the whole
for
album.
him. That was written for him.
The whole album was.
But there are a lot of nods to him in this one, insofar as the idea of mental stability in
life, death, insanity.
Yeah, keeping your sanity in an increasingly insane society. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to do this with the ambassadors.
Yes. So the ambassadors, yeah.
Talk to me about the ambassador program.
So the ambassador program we have here was something that sort of, it was bound to happen, in my opinion. Because we have so many students here in New Jersey alone where it's like they're great, man. They're killing it on their instrument or instruments. Many of them are multi-instrumentalists. They exhibit these like leadership skills, these teamworking abilities, and dedication to practice, and just the love of music, love of being on stage. And you see these kids, these young adults, regularly enough, where it's like, hey, let's jam. And that's kind of how it started. It was like, actually, how did it start? Was it with The Bitter End? Was that that was the catalyst to get it going? You asked me, could I pull a band together for this fundraiser?
I think we were trying to battle School of Fools.
School of Fools. Well, yeah.
In some ways, we were trying to come up with something that embodied our version of School of Fools.
Yeah. No.
That's live, by the way.
Then, sure. Right. Well, what we do in the concerts here, so we have concerts here, right? And in New Jersey we have them every 3 months. And one of the things we do is one of the accompaniment styles is the student comes up and they can be accompanied by the house band, which is instructors. And we've had like these same students coming up each time doing these great things with the instructors, and we figured like we can get these students together. And we had the fundraiser for After School Rocks, the nonprofit arm of Real Brave.
Right. We provide music lessons for kids in that were formerly homeless. And it's a wonderful program. Go ahead.
Great cause. Check it out on Facebook. So we had a fundraiser for that over the summer, and you had sent me an email. I was like, "Do we have like can we pull together a band for this?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was actually excited to do that and to organize that, and so it was. I don't know about mentioning names of minors on a podcast, but
probably
1, 2, 3, 4 students who just clicked We had our first rehearsal, and it was like, oh, what songs do you want to do? And it was like, it's floating around somewhere. We had a big steno pad with like 20 songs written out of songs that we want to do.
Right. I think it's back there.
It's back. It's on that wall there. So we ended up learning School's Out for Summer. We did Highway to Hell. We did Nirvana song. Can't remember it.
Come As You Are?
No.
What name that song? Breathe?
Yes.
No.
No.
Oh, what's the name of the song? Help viewer. That song.
Whatever that song is, and then also
Okay, 90s kid.
some Green Day songs.
80s kid.
Speaking of, yeah, I should be the authority on that. No, Green Day song, a bunch of songs. We learned a bunch of songs, and we also performed them at the Oakland Carnival in town. It was just a blast to be a part of that, to have these students come and rehearse and learn the songs and learn their parts and their lessons. It was a lot of fun. And so when, as I entered my senior year, I already had this idea in mind because it was so successful. They were.
You talking about the Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah.
Because we have 4 minutes.
Actually, I moved back my lesson.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so we can.
We can go past 6 o'clock.
Sure can.
Okay. Viewer.
If you're up for it, Dan.
I am. I want to go home though.
And viewer. Okay.
Badly.
All right.
But
Me too. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was when I got the wind of what I could do. It was like, yeah, let's do that. And I've seen Pink Floyd tribute bands that have done this, and there's a reggae version of this called Dub Side of the Moon by the
Nice.
Easy Star All Stars, and then there's Dark Side of the Moonshine, which is a bluegrass version of it. And in 1996, a certain jam band based in Vermont covered the entire album on Halloween one time.
Fish?
Yeah, that's the one. The Fish.
The Fish?
Yeah. Actually, it's really good. You should check it out. You won't. Not after I showed you their cover of Purple Rain, where
No.
John Fishman played the vacuum cleaner in lieu of a guitar solo.
Someday I'll listen to Fish.
But there are lots of renditions of this album, so we're gonna put our own Brave Side of the Moon.
Okay, The Brave Side of the Moon.
That's the title of the project, is Brave Side of the Moon, which works on 2 levels because Real Brave and also the mascot at William Patterson of the Braves, I think.
That's Oakland.
Brave New Radio is the William Patterson radio station.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's the Braves, yeah.
That's crazy.
I think I'd be embarrassing myself if
It's really when I first opened this location.
I thought you were affiliated with William
I
Patterson.
swear, because the Oakland Braves too.
And also I got the email through the school.
I don't understand because all right, so people would walk in and I didn't get it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, it's a brand. Nobody knows.
Man, it's
It just,
happenstance.
I think it just is fate. Fate turning its head and whispering in my ear. Okay. With this Dark Side of the Moon thing
I'm wrong.
that you are, I'm going to put this back up
It's
here.
the Pioneers.
Dark Side of the Moon. We don't own this, by the way. I think we've gotten all of the facts behind it.
Some of them, yeah.
Most. Let's see if we got some more here. Claire Torrey was the Great Gig in the Sky vocals, which
and she recorded that in 3 takes, which they spliced and put together for the final master tape.
And she didn't think that she got the gig. They were supposed to do some sort of like weird Bible passage of spoken word thing over it, and they were trying all sorts of crazy things.
That chord progression is crap. Keyboard's name.
Bob.
Alan Wright. That's not right.
That's not. I actually don't know.
I forget off the top of my head. That was dubbed the Heaven chord progression or something like that.
Really?
All right, I like this up.
It syncs up with a couple of movies.
No, it doesn't.
Supposedly, I've never tried. Is it Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, that's.
Does that work?
It's a coincidence. There are certain coincidences, but there have been interviews with David Gilmour. He's like, no, we had no, we didn't do that.
We didn't really do that.
Yeah.
So it's just a quinky dink.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was supposed to be named Eclipse, a piece for assorted lunatics. This is a cool one. This I did not know. The insane laughter belongs to Naomi Watts' dad. Naomi Watts is a very famous actress. Mm-hmm. She was in King Kong, Mulholland Drive. She's really famous for that and a bunch of other things. But that's her dad. Yeah. He was also responsible for snippets of dialogue such as "I never said I was afraid of dying." I never said I was afraid of dying.
Oh.
That thing, which is in there, you can hear it from the beginning of the Great Gig in the Sky. And those all interviews.
Did not know that.
I know.
Naomi Watts starred in The Ring, which gave me terrible nightmares as an 11-year-old
Nightmares,
boy.
nice.
Horrible nightmares. That was called the Mortality Sequence, that chord progression in Great Gig in the Sky.
Okay. Mortality Sequence.
Mortality
because that's about dying, right?
Yeah, Great Gig in the Sky. Heaven. I'm not even gonna. Oh, it's a B minor. I want to point out the first two chords on the whole thing. Music theory nerds.
Here we go.
Y'all are going to love this. Everybody else are going to be like, shut up. Going from a B minor to an F is the most... It's called a tritone, and it's among the more dissonant intervals.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it sounds ominous.
Yeah,
that's the idea behind the dissonance.
It's at the heart of Western music to have this resolve to that.
Yeah, and I hate resolving. I've actually a band almost broke up because of that.
Because you didn't want to resolve?
No, yeah, I didn't want it to resolve. I wanted to go to like something that just went.
Yeah,
and then the theory nerd wanted it to resolve. He said it has to resolve.
Yeah,
has to resolve.
Yeah, there are people like that.
Do the resolving.
Oh.
Do it. There it is. There it is. And everybody's like, oh, because it's tension release.
Yep.
But I want attention.
The fun fact about that is that can resolve the opposite direction.
Yeah. It resolves in a theory way, but not in like the nice way. So anyway, you were saying.
So that was, that's the first two chords on that, which was odd for the time. And then Amanda's kind of.
But how are you teaching this? So how are you teaching this to the students? That's what I think we should talk about next.
Mostly by rote and by ear.
You're going song by song. You're like, oh, this is the part. Play this.
Yeah. So I picked out the chord progression for Great Gig in the Sky, and I wrote it out in lead sheet symbols, and I put it in front of the keyboard player and said, "These are the chords." They played them. With our lead guitarist, her and I have just been sitting down in our lessons. She's one of my students. She takes 2 lessons a week, so we've been sitting down in the lessons and piece by piece taking apart David Gilmour's guitar solos in Money, in Time, in Us and Them.
Dude.
All the slide stuff, and just piece by piece, just putting it together. And for things that we don't have time for, because there's not enough time. But Pink Floyd at its root is very much a jam band, right? So there's a certain level of improvisation. In fact, in the recordings themselves, a lot of this stuff was improvised. They had the skeletal structure of a chord progression, but with that you have chords, and with chords you have notes. And so the notes and the chords, you can improvise an entire melodic line based on the notes that are in the chords that are in the progression. So that being said, like we'll take, and it's not always that complicated. It could be like, here's the chord, this is the scale that corresponds to these chords. So like more often than not with like Pink Floyd or any rock band, it's like a pentatonic scale or a blues scale. So yeah, there's a level of improvising that's going into some of the solos, but we're trying our best to be as authentic as possible with it.
No Gilmore spot on stuff because he's my man.
She's got spot on money. She's got spot on time. The intro or breathe rather. Yeah, we're not like throwing it all to the wind. We're doing as much as we can.
Okay, this is probably their first time with an odd time.
Yeah,
7/4. That's money, right?
Yep.
So explain 7/4.
7/4.
And it's done in C. You don't even realize that it's at an odd time,
right? Because it grooves so hard that you're just like, dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Which, if you didn't know, you wouldn't.
Right.
You just
the significance of an odd. So odd time means like in every single like Rolling Stones song, it's always going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. But this grooves differently because you're actually counting 7.
Yeah.
You're leaving off the 8th beat, and it gives you like a different feel.
It pushes you forward on a neurological level. We as human beings are very comfortable at intervals of 3 and 4. So either like a waltz, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which you can even expand to 1, 2, 3, 4, or like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? But 7/4 at a like a physiological level makes us kind of like on edge, and it pushes us forward in terms of how we feel music, in terms of like where we feel the beat to be. Another great example of that is the theme music to Mission Impossible. So here we have a show from the 60s that's about like spies and defusing bombs and like, sneaking around. And you got to be on edge. You're on edge the whole time.
Is it in 11/8?
It's in 5.
It's in 5.
1, 2.
11/8's not even.
1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 1.
Oh, that's right. Duh.
4, 5, 1, 2. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. So the composer, he took this show that's about like being on edge, and he wrote a theme song specifically designed on a deep neurological level to make the viewer feel on edge. So right from the get of the show, etc.
Okay.
So yeah, time signature stuff is really cool. If Adam Neely is a YouTube music theory jazz bassist who he's got a lot of great videos about time and odd time signatures and odd meters and stuff like that. And but time money is in 7/4 time, which I thought was ironic because I feel like time should be in 7/4 time and money should be in 4/4 time.
Okay, fair enough.
It's all right. I'm not upset.
I think. Okay.
I didn't write that letter to Gilmore. But yeah, that's so. To your original question, was it difficult? No, and in fact, I tried to explain it as little as possible. Like Jake, the drummer, knew.
Oh, he's a good drummer.
He's very good, very talented. He knew about it because he's got to count them.
It doesn't break out of it either, right? It's always there.
It does.
It does go. Oh, one.
After the sax solo.
Oh, that's right.
And then it's in a 12/8 shuffle, which 12/8, 12 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, or 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, and we just feel it as 4.
See, that's why even before I can't count playing. That's why I'm a terrible drummer. I got the time signature wrong before 11/8. It doesn't even exist.
The rule of thumb is to not count, but to feel.
Yeah, well, that's what I try to do.
Yeah. So
when I first started playing odd time music, and everyone was like, "No, it's like 1 2 1 2 1 3 1 2 1 2 1." I was like, "I can't count like that."
That's the. No, it's not. I'm working at William Patterson. I'm in the choir at William Patterson. We're working on a piece that like slips back and forth out of 4/4 into like 5/8. So it's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 1. You know, it's which is kind of weird, but
Nobody wants to listen to that.
I mean,
Not
really.
Not mainstream. They want to hear
1 2
Drake.
3 4. Actually, that's maybe for another time.
Kendrick Lamar.
Clap on 2 and 4, everybody. This is a public service announcement from Real Brave. Clap on 2 and 4. So if you're hearing,
There's nobody watching.
Sweet Caroline, whoa, oh, that is socially acceptable. This is not. Sweet Caroline. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's a great video of Harry Connick Jr. playing piano, and people are clapping on 1 and 3. So he slips in a bar, one measure of 5.
Okay.
And everybody just ends up on 2 and 4. And he was doing it solo, but he was playing with the band, and you see the drummer react going when that happens. It's a great video. Yeah.
Well done, sir. So when are we expecting? What are we doing with this thing? Are we gonna try? We can't record it. We can't post it. We can't do any of that. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna have a little performance?
I'm gonna record it for my scholastic purposes. There will be a performance. 80% chance here, 20% chance at William Patterson. I still have to talk to the director.
You could do it here.
At Shea. I would love to do it here. Actually, we've got the lights, we've got the sound, we've got everything we need here. The only benefit of doing it at William Patterson would be to give the students the experience of performing at a college.
Oh,
setting.
and then that's awesome. If you can get that to happen.
If I can get that to happen, I'm going to have that. But they are rehearsing on this stage. We can fit about 60 people in here. It would be great. I wouldn't have to carry.
No, I would
lot of stuff.
highly suggest you do it here. It's
Yeah.
all here for you.
Yeah. But that's November 30th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Am I going to that?
Of course.
Okay.
I will forcibly bring you here.
You drag me here.
Yep.
My dad keeps calling me. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to hear this, and I think it's going to be awesome. I think I would actually love, personally, someday, to play Shine On You Crazy Diamond parts 1 to 8.
Oh, cool.
I'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I know the first 4 parts by heart. I mean, if I sat down, I can remember how to do it. I had to learn it by ear. That's how I learned how to play guitar.
That's
So that's how I learned how to solo and bend, actually.
in terms of like pedagogy, that's like that's the way to do it. That's yes, learn to read music, learn to sight read.
I think music
All
is,
that good stuff.
Music reading can
But
go to the
if you
side.
don't have the ears for it, then like you're kind of just like a robot. I don't want to say it like that. If you don't, you got to have the musicianship that allows you to hear something and then replicate it, or read something and hear it as you read it. That's called audiation.
Audiation?
Audiation. Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
So like,
Tell me more of this audiation.
to like see like a chord progression, think boom, bum, 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 knowing that it's C, G, A, E, E. Hey, listen. To be able to see something and hear it in your head. Also, this is how I learned, was being like 5 years old and having like a little cruddy 18-key Casio like toy keyboard. And at the time, my favorite movie was Star Wars. Still is. You make that face.
I did.
You make me feel bad. I'm not ashamed.
Your favorite
of that.
movie of all time is Star Wars?
Yeah, I don't care if that's cliche.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I wasn't expecting
you didn't
that.
say that out loud. Sure. You did this.
I wasn't expecting us to go into Star Wars land.
We could. Yeah, we'll go there. Take pictures, bring them back, put it on a slideshow.
Very good. I'm a Star Wars fan. Did not expect you. Go ahead.
Anyway,
I'm interrupting your moment.
The first song I ever learned and taught myself, because it's very special to me, it was my favorite movie at the time. I was 5 years old. Was the theme that bam 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 bam.
Yeah. Fine. You got to find the note.
Right. And so in terms of like learning music, it is invaluable to be able to use your ears and to pick out what note that is, find it on the keyboard or your guitar or flute or whatever instrument you're playing, and then play it.
I agree. I didn't learn music reading until I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Well, I went back to school,
Okay.
and I had to.
I started reading in like 3rd grade on the recorder. That's still a thing. People still learn recorder. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then 4th grade, I started playing saxophone. And I played that through college.
Very talented man we got here, Mr. Kevin over there.
Oh, stop.
Over there. No, you are. I mean, you play like 5 instruments, and I pay you like $1 an hour.
Something like that. It's 20 cents per instrument.
I pay you only $1 an hour, I said.
Which is
And
great.
he was like, okay.
Which is wonderful. I love to eat off the dollar menu.
Yeah.
Dollar menu.
I have no
great.
problem with that. I'm Mr. Scrooge.
Yep.
You're like...
And no, it works both ways because I could be eating healthfully, but I prefer to eat garbage.
No, I thought... What happened to
Man, it's been like weeks.
Really?
It's been weeks since I've been to the gym, and I moved into the new apartment, and it's lovely. I'm very happy, but it's I interrupted my my whole routine. I gotta get back into the gym and start cooking again for myself, but it's been like frozen food.
Let's talk more about this. We should get into this.
All right. So 2 years ago, you want to open this can of worms? 2 years ago, I was 240 pounds,
My goodness.
soaking wet.
Do we have a picture of that?
Nope. And thank goodness.
Yeah, I think it's right there.
There it is.
There it
I'm
is.
the one on the right. That's me 2 years ago. 240 pounds, and only like 2 or 3 pounds of that was makeup and hair dye.
Oh my goodness.
But then, I just stopped drinking soda. That
You
was it.
stopped drinking soda?
Yeah, for a long time. I'm back on that.
Let's get rid of this.
Yep. And also, being a part of a posse helped a lot. The street cred, the running from the police, it was
What's it
I
like
burned
being
a lot of calories that
I
way.
mean, and you were a clown too, no less.
Yes. Yeah. It was that's my glory days right there. Just me at my peak.
Yeah. But anyway, seriously, I mean, so you were this is about health, right? So you got healthy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're actually let's do a segment. We'll call this Dan's Health Corner. Dan's Health Corner.
Talking about health with Dan Powers.
Cool.
Actually, there's got to be more of a like the more you know kind of feel. Da 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 da. Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
It's got like a little resolve to it too.
Did you want me to not resolve that?
I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
I want it to be more dissonant.
Yeah, no, I just joined the gym and I stopped eating. I didn't stop eating. I ate less. I ate less and exercised more, and I lost weight.
Okay. If we all did that, we wouldn't have the problems we all have.
Yes.
So you did well. So you're not doing it anymore.
Right. Well, yeah. No, I've fallen off the wagon a little bit. I mean, I lost 70 pounds.
Holy smokes!
So
70 pounds.
and then I gained back about 15. Yeah, sorry.
You got to go. I think, actually, on not to talk about it, you're not here, but you got super crazy thin.
Me?
Yeah, because when we played there was a show that we played in Ringwood, the parade thing, and you were really
I was at like
thin.
peak physical condition
Oh
at
yeah,
that time.
you had like a 9-pack.
I had all 9 abs. It was great.
Joey knows about that.
He sure does.
So, we're,
Are we gonna go into that?
no,
Could we?
I think we could. I think it's a family show though.
Okay.
It's a family show nobody's watching.
Now
we
I
don't
feel
have
like-
one like at all.
Now I feel like not going into it will leave more questions.
Or is it just putting that back up?
DM us if you're curious about that story. Slide into our DMs.
Well, we're gonna boost this. I'm gonna try to go home. 70-hour work week.
Right.
I'm tired.
Yep. Dig it.
And message us if you want to hear more about this dark side of the moon thing. I think it's gonna be awesome. The brave side of the moon.
I think if we can't
I'd like to do more of
broadcast
this.
it if it's them playing.
I don't think so.
Blanket license.
My whole thing with music is, for those that know me know that I've played for a long time. My retirement from the dozens of dollars that I've made over my long career.
Dozens, you say?
Dozens of dollars.
Wow.
My last BMI check was $3.46. Should be that I get to play music whenever I want, wherever I want.
Sure.
And broadcast it whenever I want.
Yeah.
I've paid my dues, and I don't care. And I'm saying that in a nice way. But I should be. I personally think it's 2019 going to 2020, and we should be able to talk about this stuff and pass it down. It's going to benefit the artists long term if this was a really successful podcast and we were talking about Dark Side of the Moon and some kid picked it up on whatever medium that it happened to be on and learned about it,
Hollow disc,
streamed it, ended up getting into Pink Floyd when they never were going to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. This is the future that we're going into, folks. Mm. Nobody's going to pick up a CD. We have CDs here?
No.
Nope.
No, it's 2019. You do this. This is...
Yeah. So I think it's absurd. Because we've done podcasts before and they blanked us out. Like when we're talking about music. Like, what was it? It was Hootie and the Blowfish. Who cares?
Hootie, yeah.
We played Hootie and they muted us. I hope they mute me right now, Zuckerberg. It's ridiculous. Quote me.
I know that Facebook has a certain. They have some licenses where you can use, I think, Universal Group.
Yes, people gotta get paid. There's certain artists that have this license through Facebook, and vice versa, where you can play their music. I get it. But out of the dozens and dozens of dollars that I've made,
dozens,
and I'm not even
you're not exaggerating.
I'm not exaggerating.
It's in that double-digit mark.
we're getting close to hundreds. I would have killed to have
free exposure. Yeah.
Free exposure.
Yeah.
And in this day and age where we just passed a 50-year mark of Abbey Road. Mm-hmm. When Kanye West, I believe he's being serious, said to Paul McCartney that, then when they did that collaboration, that he'll make him famous or something like that. I thought he was being serious. It is Kanye West. I mean, he could not also be serious.
He was being serious.
He was being serious, right?
Yeah.
That Paul McCartney is going to be someone someday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it? Post Malone posted on his Twitter account. You know Post Malone?
Yep.
He posted on his Twitter account, something about Ozzy Osbourne. And, people were like, whoa, who is this Ozzy Osbourne guy? Post Malone just put him on the map. And it was just really, really a sad moment.
It's a sad moment because you know the music.
Yeah.
But for people that don't know the music, they don't know. So, I think it's an opportunity to push this out there. It should be out there for free, for crying out loud. The industry is done. This is the first year that vinyl records are going to outsell CDs.
Yeah.
First year since mid-'80s? Is anybody watching?
No. Something like that. Yeah, it's because it started as a novelty thing and became a niche thing, hipsters check this out on vinyl, man.
Hey man, I just rode my vegan bicycle downtown and I was just
straight from the Whole Foods.
Yeah, got whole paycheck, man, and I was hanging out with my friends and I got
Playing
my
hacky
vinyl.
sack. Yep.
Played hacky sack for 4 days straight.
Yeah.
That was you, wasn't it?
That was not me. I didn't have the energy for hacky sack.
You sure?
Ultimate Frisbee, though, I was bad at it.
I don't know where we're going with that segment.
But yeah, no. It started as a niche thing, and then people remembered that the audio quality of analog recorded music is far superior to digitally recorded music. So when you have bits, it takes the sound wave and it makes them squares. And that's not cool. You don't.
I don't know about that.
Well. Why? What makes you say that?
I've got my hands on my hips. So that's why I said that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a dead giveaway. Also, there's a new release out of. It's a re-release of Fish's 7th studio album, "The Story of a Ghost." It's coming out on vinyl.
I actually had that CD.
Did you really?
I did.
What the heck?
So there's something called Columbia House.
Yeah.
They would send you a CD,
right,
and you would purchase it for $750,000.
Okay, that's fair.
And then you would get 20 free CDs.
All right. So they're not free. because $750,000 divided by 20 is still a lot.
People. How many people got the CD? We're like, I didn't send,
35.
and it was like, you got to send it back by such and such date, or we're going to charge you $750,000. You're like, I could afford $750,000 to get the 20 free CDs, and that was one of them.
So did you ever listen to it?
Yeah.
Can I ask you to listen to it for next week's podcast?
Yes.
Oh, such apprehension in his voice.
I did listen to it. I'm not even joking.
It's a great one.
It has a song on it.
It's got Birds of a Feather. It's got
one of their
Ghost.
singles.
It's got Coyote, one of their singles. Maybe Birds of a Feather. Oh.
Wait, what's the name of the album? I just lost it. Oh no, I'm thinking of Hoist.
Oh, yeah, that's got Sample in a Jar.
That's the song I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Nah.
I'm thinking of Hoist. But I do know the album you're talking about because I try to avoid it as much as possible.
Hoist is great. It's got some really good bluegrass on there. It's got some nice blues. It's got a lot of stuff. Family friendly.
I remember liking and then the dudes I used to hang out with back in the 90s.
Dudes.
My boys.
Total dudes.
What's up,
They're
boys?
listening to Fish.
No, we didn't listen to Fish.
Oh, not so much dudes. Like just guys.
It's like Dave Matthews.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah, there's some crossover there. There's a Venn diagram of bros where Dave Matthews bros, Fish bros, hanging out in the parking lot is that little crossover.
Webster Hall.
Okay.
Really jeans.
Yep.
Sandals.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews.
Dreads?
No, I had really long hair though.
Okay. All right. Tie-dye shirt?
70s shirt.
Okay. All right. Beard?
I couldn't grow a beard.
Are you going to do No Shave November this
I
month?
just started it because if it takes me about 2 months.
Get a head start? I considered getting a head start. It takes me a while.
Yeah. By the time November comes, people are like, "Oh, you're doing no shave?" Yeah, I haven't shaved in 3 weeks.
But it'll be like a week and it'll be like, yeah, I'm just really masculine.
But the gentleman that cuts my hair, Larry,
Shout out.
LP and Co, said that it's actually supposed to be for a mustache.
What, No Shave November?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's true.
I'm just gonna stop.
I could probably Google it,
and
but
stop
I'm not
shaving
gonna.
my pits.
You start shaving your
I'm gonna
pits.
stop shaving my pits.
Start.
Okay. Sure. Sure, boss. You got it. This goes far beyond the job description.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it says here that I have to what? Okay.
Yep.
It's 6:27. I think we've done our due diligence.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the thing you're going to do. I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
I really do.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited for like just everything else that, this is, we're still within like the 6-month conception of this whole ambassador thing.
Yeah, the ambassador thing is awesome.
And so we'll be doing it in the Queens location. We'll be doing it in the Manhattan location. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
So if you're watching this and you're a student, or if you're watching this and you're wondering why we do this, just hit us up. Talk about the ambassador program. We're not School of Fools.
So glad you keep saying fools.
School of Fools. We are the best. I have to say that on behalf of you, because it's people like him that make this awesome. It's not just me. The whole staff, everybody from every location, and more to come.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you all, and we will have more about this next time on Real Brave Radio. Thanks, everybody.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Real Brave Radio. Real Brave Radio.
Promotional consideration.
Real Brave Radio.
Trying to get this thing back up. Here we go. Those two guys.
Radio. I don't even know any ICP songs. I'm imagining it's like something like that. I don't know.
I can't even imagine.
Maybe I'm thinking of Slipknot.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.